Okay, session is being recorded. Okay. Good evening, everyone. And I know everyone's very busy, and so I will make this session and a very effective and short one. Okay, as short as possible. Okay. Um, okay. And so today's session is really about and help you preparing for your assignment one. Okay, I'm not going to go through the and key points of different topics. You can listen to the recorded session of different topics in my MCU. Okay, let's go to the point. So what I do is basically my suggestion is I will go through the assessment one item one by one. Okay, and even though I think you can ask questions along the way, but my suggestion, my thinking is probably you can wait until I finish the whole session, or you can type your question in the chat section. Then I check all the questions after we finish the session. Okay, and I think I could be wrong, and I think this session and yes, Srikant, do you want to say something? Okay. Yeah, do you want to say something, Srikant? Look, don't know what happened. Okay, let's just keep on going, okay? Um, look, first thing, um, this probably repeat the same information again, okay? This assignment one is of a research report, individual research report, okay? 25% or 25 marks or the 100, and the length of the assignment is 2,500 words, okay? The due date is 2 weeks from today, December 5th, December 2019, okay? The marking or assessment criteria is 20 marks for content. So content is very important. Research referencing 3 marks. Communication, presentation, quality of report 2 marks. Okay, let's just explain one by one. What do I mean? A sum one requirement. Okay, a sum one basically asks you to prepare report that discuss how organizations or companies, whatever businesses and government agencies, whatever apply the strategic use of ICT to achieve IICT enabled innovation. So, what do I mean by IICT enabled? Basically means use ICT for innovation purpose. Okay. Um, the most relevant topic for assignment one is topic two. Okay, so if you and have any doubts about using SIT for innovation terms, concept, in terms some thinking, in terms some latest terminologies, I strongly suggest you to go through topic two PowerPoint slides, listen to topic two recorded session, and also go through the study guide, topic 2. Also read necessary reading for topic 2. Okay, I repeat again. I will not ask you to read all the readings for all the topics. It may not be really necessary, even though I provided a lot of readings. I have to say that. Okay, for 10 topics. Actually, we more have additional reading along the way during the session. If I or other teaching staff think such new readings could help you gain new knowledge and or will be better for your future career development or professional development, we will add in. When we add in new readings, we're not saying that will be part of your assignment or will be part of an exam. No, sometimes we just want to know there are some new things, new trends you should be aware of. But for topic two, I will repeat again. I strongly suggest you to go through all the study material for topic 2, including readings. Okay, some readings will be very useful. For example, reading 2.1, Michael Porter's reading on Porter 5 model will be, in my view, very relevant to your assignment 1. Okay, also some PowerPoint slides and associated readings on innovation will be very useful for your assignment 1 preparation as well. Okay, assignment 1 is a individual research report. Okay, and at a master's or postgraduate level, and being able to do effective research, then prepared a report based on your effective research is a must-have skills for postgraduate students, in my personal view. But again, my personal view is shared by a lot of other people. Okay, and so assignment 1 is very important in terms of give you some opportunity to do some research, then give you opportunity to summarize the information in from your research, then use the summarized information from your research plus the knowledge content we have gained from this unit, such as topic 2 or any other relevant topics, plus some readings we provide in this units, plus you may have some very relevant real-world experience or observations, which all can be used to enhance your assignment 1. Okay. Okay. Now let's go back to research and scholarly research. We mainly refer here. Okay. The two channels we normally do research or collect information are use the library databases. Okay. So very lucky, Southern Cross University have two major databases, okay, for business fields. One is a ProQuest 5000. One is a Science Direct. Both of them are very good databases, but probably among these two, ProQuest 5000 probably could have a little bit more business or management related articles, but I'm not 100% certain. So I would suggest you to seriously look at both, okay? And I will give you some keywords later on, okay, during today's session. But now I will stick to the the main point, okay? Also, another major channel for research nowadays is the internet, okay? Then one of the major tools on the internet is the search engine. So one of the major search engine we used is Google. Okay. Also Google have a Google Scholar. Also you can use a Google advanced function for search. Okay. But you probably will ask me, okay, what's the difference between Google, including Google Scholar, with a scholarly database such as ProQuest 5000 and Science Direct? Well, the key differences is you may not be able to find full information or full paper article from the internet. Why? You have to pay for them, okay, in most cases. And a lot of full paper, full access to certain information are needed to be paid, okay? So university has purchased, had paid for database such as ProQuest 5000 and Science Direct. Okay. So another way you can look at how can you use internet such Google to use information is you can use Google to find out some very latest summarized information, okay, or some company information, some key development, key words, or key trends in certain industry. Then you go back to library by using ProQuest 5000 or Science Direct. Try to see whether you can find the full access to the information you get from the Google, or you can find some complementary information and from the databases, to the information you found on the Google. For example, you may find a interesting piece of information on the internet. Okay, for example, you found a piece of information about you know how Apple computer is doing innovation. Okay, and then you try to look the full paper, access to the full information on how Apple computer is doing innovation, and then you found that you have to pay for it. Then what do? You go back to SU library to search relevant information. Okay, and also library means including databases and other e-journals, e-book. So I would suggest beyond look at specific information in ProQuest 5000 on the Science Direct, you also can search library catalog. Sometimes you have some surprises. Okay. Okay. Next point. You need to show evidence that you have read, cited at least 10 references after January 2013. Well, you probably argue, why 2013? Well, that's normally we look at 6 years, okay? 6 years old paper, as a rule of thumb. That's no really, law or, regulation, but that's how we have been decided in the past, okay? Because in my personal views, and you should be able to find a lot of relevant information, after 2013, okay? And well, then you may ask me a question. Well, Jun, just look at all the readings you provided for this unit, right? And even though we can see you have provided us with some latest readings, such as 2017, 16, 17, 18, okay, in published in those years. But again, you still provide us with some information published in 1997 or early 2000. Why you want us to only get information after 2013? I would say that's a very good question. Okay, when we say we want you have at least 10 reference after 2013, that means you cannot use the reference before 2013. You still can use reference before 2013, but for your paper, but will not be counted as part of 10 references. Okay, that means if you want to use more, use reference before 2013, you can. So that means you have to provide more than 10 references. You have to give us in the report 10 reference up 2013, then plus whatever you want to use, for example. Okay, so that's the clarification for the reference after 2013. Also, for those students you are new to the to your study or to your degree to Southern Cross University, and I think you probably will still know the difference between reference in the reference list, a citation. Okay, so what difference between citation and references in the reference list? Citation means reference you cited in the text. Okay, reference means you provide full information for the cited reference in the text at the end of your report document. Okay, for example, if you cite in my book, Xu 2013, that's some citation, right? Xu 2013, or bracket XU 2013 and the bracket, that's a citation, okay? So in your reference list, then you provide a full reference, such as XU, comma, semi-comma, J, full dot, 2013, then full title, managing information system, 10 essential topics, athletics prize, friends, blah, blah, okay? Harvard format. Okay, and also, if you're going to put anything in your reference list, okay, you have to make sure all the references you're going to list in your reference list at the end of your report have been cited. Okay, let's go back to the example, my book. You say, you provide information in the reference list, XUJ 2013, blah, blah, but you never cite it inside your report. So that reference is not counted as a reference. Okay? Reference means you have read the paper carefully, you have cited in the paper report, also provide full information of your citation, your cited reference at the end of your paper. Okay? That's the difference between citation and reference in the reference list. Again, this is a postgraduate MBA or whatever master engineering management unit. So my personal approach is you can use a variety of references, including books, referred journals, newspapers, magazines, and other electronic references, plus your own experience, okay, observations. They'll be very, very valuable as well. Okay. Look, guys, we have quite a few participants and attendees. Look, I'm not going to ask you now question one by one. I just want to ask one thing. Can you let me know you have any major question now? If not, I will keep on going. Then you ask all the questions later on. If anyone have not fully really understood what I just said so far, can you let me know now? Otherwise, I will keep on going. If you understand very well, you don't have to do anything. If you have not understood what I said just now clearly, let me know now. Okay? Okay. I keep on moving because too many. I mean, we have quite a few participants. I don't want to waste time. Your time. Okay? Let's go. Keep on going. Look, I have been asked many times by different students. What's the definition of innovation for your assignment one purpose? Okay. Yeah, very good question. So today we can and look, I just want to repeat again. You can tap your question in the chat box, but what I do is I will answer all the questions in chat box when I finish my session. Okay. So my apology, but I think that's probably the best way to go. Look, my personal approach is, for example, you may argue the information you see here on the screen is different with probably the definition of innovation we kind of discussed in topic 2, maybe, or definition from other places. That's 100% fine, right as well. I don't think we should argue about that. For me, you can have your operational definition for anything you do. Okay, I mean, of course, it must be reasonable, sensible, logical. Okay, have common sense. So for assignment one purpose, I prepared this information definition for innovation, which is ICT enabled innovation is ICT enabled improved product services processes. Process means what? Business process, right? Systems for improving an organization's performance and or enhancing or creating it is a competitive advantages and or supporting its strategic goals. As you can see, it's very broad definition. So you should be able to find a lot of case example for your assignment one purpose. Okay, I repeat again. This definition is for assignment one purpose. You may not agree with this definition, but doesn't matter. This definition is the operational definition for assignment one. Clear? Good. Let's move on. Okay. Look, I personal approach is I do not want to suggest a structure for you guys. Okay, because you know why? We all have a innovation to some extent, okay, in ourselves, okay, or innovative skills to some extent in ourselves. So, in other words, I always believe we all can be very innovative in terms how we do things, okay. And but again, I have written down something here. If you really want to ask me to suggest something, okay, I just suggest a very and simple structure. If you do not want to show me your innovative side, you can follow such simple structure as cover page, table of contents, introduction, discussion for question 1, discussion for question 2, discussion for question 3, discussion for question 4, conclusion, reference list, and appendix if necessary. So then you may ask me a question. What should I put into appendix? Well, I think it's a very good question. Basically, anything you think is very comprehensive, but will help me or other markers to understand your cases, your report, you can put in appendix. So just in your report, you just say, please refer to appendix 1 for more discussion for details. Okay, that's it. And also, in the UIG, we said the word limit is 2,500. Okay, well, my real thinking it is that's probably the minimum. Okay, and of course you can just run up 2,500 words, and because we always believe quality carries much more weight than quantity. But again, we are trying to be as flexible as possible. So you have more words you want to use in your report. That's fine. But I want to see again, make sure you understand the concept of quality carries much more weight than quantity. So you can have more words than 2,500. That's fine with me. But I would prefer to see quality stuff, okay, not just quantity, okay. Also, another way I always suggest you to look at, which can reduce the number of words, the length of your assignment one, also will enhance your discussion, is to ask you to look at using diagrams and tables or matrix. Some people call matrix to enhance your discussion. And for example, give example. We all in topic 2. We say that Porter the five forces model is a very good drawing, right? And his the reading 2.1 also have very good drawing of the internet impact on the industry, And so that's a very good example using diagrams, And but on a related note, I do not want you to simply copy paste the diagram tables from the study material. You have to adapt, change to suit your cases, your purpose. Okay. So one question you will be asking me is, if I adapt or change a diagram table to insert into my discussion, how am I going to cite? Okay, very simple. You can see adapt, adapted from blah blah reference, or developed from this is reference. Or if you 100% create yourself, you can say developer by the author for this report. Okay, so to give example, um, Harvard referencing is the format of referencing we're going to use. So what is the Harvard referencing? Well, basically, it's you have to use citation, you have to have reference list. Okay, the format citation will be author surname, year. Okay, then the full reference list format in the reference list is you provide full information. Okay, look, I'm not going to go through that here. You can search library and you can see a lot of examples. Okay, I think there's a guy in library in terms how to apply Harvard referencing format system into the into your assignment. Okay, let's keep on moving. Okay, now we come to very serious stuff. Okay, assignment one questions. Question one, ask you to critically discuss at least 4 examples of organizational attempts at achieving ISIT-enabled innovation. So I have received some questions. They ask me, can the 4 examples come from same company or 1 or 2 companies? The answer is no. Okay, the 4 examples have to come from 4 different entities or companies or organizations. Okay, and you have to clearly present the key information of the. I repeat again, the key information. We don't want you to write a paragraph about the background information, but you have to present the key information of the cases about using ISIT for innovation purpose. Okay, for example, what are the purpose of company initiative? Okay, such as, are they using ISIT enabled innovation for new products, services, better business processes, or other thing else? Okay, what other mean other thing else? For example, remember in topic 2 we discussed, and another major Michael Porter's contribution. The first one is Michael Porter's 5 forces model, right? Second major contribution by Michael Porter is value chain model. Okay, so what is a key elements of a Michael Porter, value chain model we discussed in topic 2 is value. According to value chain model, ISIT can make a contribution, create value for company in each of a primary or main business area and secondary or support area. Area also can be called activities, right? Remember, taking example of Southern Cross University, I succeed in the classroom. What are the key or primary activities of Southern Cross University? Well, the very much a great answer is research and teaching learning are the core activities or business areas of Southern Cross University. All other functions, activities such as information technology, library, student services, accommodation, property management, campus management, cafe, bars, restaurants, and human resources, financial services are support secondary activities for university. Okay, ICT can make contribution, create value, or in other words, improve each of these either primary or secondary areas activities such as ICT could be used for improving primary activities Southern California University such as e-learning arguably could improve our learning, right? E-research system could improve our research. And e-library probably could give us a lot of advantage in the library services, right? E-enrollment, e-accounting system could create value and improve the process services of accommodation and recruitment, such as so that's first point, your key information. What's the purpose of your selected cases company for using ICT for innovation? Second one is what's the process? Journey means what they have gone through. Again, summarize information, okay? And outcome, whether they are successful or not. In other words, what's the purpose? What they have done? What what are the outcome? That's key. That's the key information you should present for your case, whether the cases are successful or not. Okay, let's keep on going. Question 2. Critically discuss the success factors and lessons learned from the 4 cases you have choose. Oh, sorry, I forgot one question I normally be asked about question 1. The question normally I was asked is, people ask me, Jun, how about this 4 cases? Oh, by the way, when we say 4 cases, the minimum, you can have more than 4 cases if you like, okay? So let's say we take example 4 cases. People ask me, Jun, can these 4 cases be all successful cases or non-successful cases, or have to be the mix of successful and non-successful? Well, my standard answer it is, I prefer you to look for both successful and unsuccessful cases, which will make your discussion more meaningful. And in reality, I do believe you should be able to, after your research on the internet, in the databases, and by other sources, you are able to find both successful and unsuccessful examples, cases. If not, please let me know. Okay? That would be the ideal situation. But come to very extreme cases, some people really want to focus on cases in certain industry. For example, we have a lot of people who working full time in different professions. Okay, occasionally they come to me saying, Jun, I'm really interested to do some research and in certain industry, in certain, I would give approval. Okay, okay, but normally that kind of communication should happen between myself or your tutor and you. Okay, so for example, you maybe want to focus on very particular industry or country, system or market, and then in that particular market system, country, whatever you focus on, you're not able to find, both successful and successful cases. Then we may be discussing with you. What do you can, for example, you are telling me you only can find successful cases for certain industry you're working on. For example, okay, let me make a very extreme example. So then you ask me, Jun, in your assignment question, you also discuss both success factors and lessons learned, right? What's lessons learned? Basically means what went wrong, okay? For your unsuccessful examples. That is very much so. But again, do we believe anything have two sides? Even for very successful companies, in terms their uses of ISIT for innovation, will there be any lessons learned? Well, in my mind, or based on my experience, the answer is yes. So I'm trying to say 2 points. First point, you should uh, you should and should be able to locate both successful and unsuccessful examples. Okay, that's the approach I strongly recommend it. But when come to very few extreme cases, for example, you really want to work on certain industry after discussing with me or relevant tutors, we let you go ahead. And also, you only can find some, for example, very only successful examples. You still be able to find some lesson learned, even in those appearing or on the surface very successful examples. Okay, that's 2 points. Now I go back to this question 2 here again. Okay, you need to basically discuss. Okay, you need to first indicate. What's the word meaning of indicate? Basically spell out. Okay, and the success factors, what worked, and lesson learned, what went wrong in your chosen or selected cases. Okay, then you need to discuss them one by one. For example, the benchmark basically is you need to have at least, for example, one or two paragraph for each identified factors. For example, for each lessons learned or factor, each lesson learned or each success factors. Okay, and also in my personal view or based on our experience, you need to have a separate section to discuss success factors and lessons learned. Okay. Then another relevant question people ask me is, should I group all the success factors for 4 cases together, or should I present success factors and lesson learned for each case separately? Well, my personal view is, it doesn't matter. As long as you can explain what they're trying to say clearly, that's fine with me. Okay, I'll repeat again. Normally, people ask me 2 approaches here. One approach is, for example, you have 4 cases. Some people will say, case one, that's the summarized information, such as purpose, journey, outcome, right? Then lesson learned, success factor. Okay, that's one approach. Another approach some people do is, okay, that's section one. Section one is including all the summarized information for all cases. Okay, section two is it is a discussion of a success factor of all four cases. Okay, and then section three will be discussing all the lessons from four cases, for example. Okay, that could be okay. And but again, maybe to some extent, the first approach probably sometime and could be and more easily to handle. That's my personal view. Okay, but you make your own judgment. Let's keep on moving. Question three. Critically discuss the impacts of internal and external factors on the success or the failure of ICT-enabled innovation. Okay. Okay. Uh, Before we discuss how actually you can organize information, search information for question three, I want to have some discussion. I will list here. What are some examples of internal factors? Okay. Commonly speaking, I say commonly, that means not everyone agreed. And internal factors, including factors such as organizational factors, such culture, structure, business processes, company size, industry, the company in product services. Individual factors, example of individual factors such as in your individual skills, experience, and their personality, all these kind of things. Okay, attitude, and this kind of things. And the management factor, you normally talk about management's, risk taking attitude, management skills, management leadership, management's and knowledge, etc., etc. Okay, which and again different people may have a different views, but that's normally we talk about. Okay, some common examples of external factors could include market factors, industry factors, social factors, economic factors, technological factors, political and policy factors. Okay, Um, so that's basically, but you probably ask me, what is under all these factors? Well, I think the answer is quite straightforward. You can do some search, and from internet, and that's very straightforward. Okay, so I will not waste too much time here. So some interesting thinking you can have, and this question is, for example, after looking at some internal factors, internal external factors which may have influence on the success or failure of the cases I cite enabled innovation initiatives. You also can ask the question such as, for those cases or for any company's innovation initiatives, are internal factors more important than external factors, or the other way around? Okay, so what's your answer? Well, I think the answer, that's no unified answer. But I mean, normally people say internal factors could be more important than external factors. But again, that's probably for a lot of industries. For some industries, the external factors, such as the government regulations, may kill your business, right? For example, you are in a very high or highly regulated industry. If what you are doing or what you are going to do does not comply with government regulations. You either cannot do your business or your business will be killed. So, so the answer looks like most likely will be internal factor could be more important than external factor. But again, that's not definitely yes. Okay? Because why? Depend on industry, environment, context. Okay. Um, I want to draw your attention to last point I put on here. I said some identified factors from your chosen cases will be used, and other relevant factors from the literature and your experience should be brought in as well. Okay. Also, those identified factors that pertain to your chosen cases, I try to avoid generic factors. What I'm trying to say here is, look, this is an assignment. We ask you to do a 2,500 words assignment, a research report, assignment one. Okay, we ask you to look for 4 cases, including both successful and unsuccessful. In real life research, can you make any solid recommendation from 4 cases only? The answer is not. It's no. Okay. But for the assignment one purpose, we ask you to look at 4 cases, including both successful and unsuccessful. The main thinking implication behind these activities is we believe once you go through the process of researching cases, look for relevant information, categorize relevant information, summarize, discuss the categorized information, then you'll be able to achieve certain thinking, conclusion, recommendation, suggestion. So whether the assignment asks you to do 4, 10, 20, 40, 50 cases, in my mind, that's no major difference in terms, principles, key learning process. Of course, if you look at 50 cases, your discussion could be more comprehensive, more balanced. That's no doubt. But you don't have time for that. We don't have for that. Okay. You're doing a 12-week study. You probably have 2 weeks time to prepare for your assignment one on top of other things. So the purpose we want to go to learning process. Okay. So when come to question 3, we understand for the 4 cases you're going to, or even more, up to you, you selected for your assignment one. You may not find all the relevant internal external factor to support your argument. So what do? You bring in other factors you reckon, you believe will be relevant to your discussion, okay, for question 3. Also, those relevant factors from the literature have to be very much relevant to the selected cases. The example will be, I give example. For example, you are looking at e-learning system for university, okay? So you got a 2 university, like for example, you got a university example of Southern Cross University, for example. I'm not saying Southern Cross is a case, but I'm just giving example. Then got another example of a University of Sydney. Sorry, I didn't, I didn't, I didn't, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. So and How can I just slide change? Okay. Um, what I'm trying to say here is, my apology. I don't know who moved the things. My apology. What I'm saying. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Two example. One example is Sonic University for e-learning system. That's one case you decide to use for someone. For example, then you decide to use another example. For example, University. Okay, and another example. And well, can these two example of Southern Cross University and University give you all the relevant internal, external factor to discuss the innovation here, so-called e-learning system? The answer is definitely not, right? So what do? You look for literature to say, okay, even though we only used two cases of Southern Cross University and University Sydney, but from literature, we also can review those factors or those lessons learned from our university e-learning system project will be very much relevant to my discussion here regarding e-learning system. That's example why I'm saying you have to bring, relevant factors and from literature, from experience, but again, also should be relevant to the cases you are discussing with someone. Okay, that's example. All right, let's keep on moving. Okay, last question. Ask you to suggest recommendation and guidelines for helping organizations succeed in the efforts of embarking on using ICT for innovation with good explanation and discussion. Okay, so let's go to point by point. Okay, firstly, clearly spell out your suggestion before further discussion. What I'm trying to say is, I have seen so many assignment on papers, whatever you call it. Okay, they threw everything together, and just for us to, to read through the whole thing. Well, that's not very good. They're not going to help you, not going to help us. So what you do is, for example, you say, okay, I have a full recommendation, A, B, C, D. Clear spell out. Then discuss A, B, C, D one by one, ideally using subheadings. For example, you're saying recommendation one, leadership. Okay, they have subheading, for example, leadership. They have one or two paragraphs to explain what do you mean by leadership in terms of recommendation. Okay. Okay, so that's basically cover second point as well. Third point, recommendation should be built on your previous discussion, best practice identified literature, and your own experience. So here, same argument I just had for question 3. Because we only choose 4 cases here, okay? So for 4 cases, to be honest, it's not really sufficient to make any solid conclusion, recommendation. So what do? We ask you to bring in other relevant informations from literature and from your own experience in terms how we can help organization and in the initiatives of embarking on ICT for innovation. Okay, so listen carefully. We ask you in question 4 for recommendation, not for any particular cases you have chosen for. Okay, but we want you build on your 4 cases plus your information in question tree, okay, plus other relevant information to provide recommendation regarding helping company use ICT for innovation. Okay, so such recommendation are not for any particular cases or organizations in you used in your report. Okay, that's the keywords. Okay, let's keep on moving. Okay, what are some keywords you can use? Okay, this list is not exhaustive. Okay, just some example. For example, you can use keywords such as information system, in bracket AIs, and innovation. Okay, or information technology, IT, and innovation. Basically, you need to search this combination of keywords such as ICE and innovation, IT and innovation in Google, in databases, okay? Or ICE for innovation, or IT for innovation, or cases or case study for ICE for ICE or IT for or and innovation. So I'll just give example. So what's going to happen is you need to try different keywords. Okay, you also can add in certain industry, countries, system, for example, you want to focus on. And so in the beginning, you probably get a very big list. Okay, then you try to add in more keywords to narrow down the outcome of your research. Okay, so that's what you may get. For example, you may get a, for example, you use eyes for innovation and a lot of information. Then you put in cases, case studies. You may narrow down a bit. Okay, then you say, okay, how about the cases in education industry? You can narrow down. Then you can narrow down again. How about the education cases in Australia? You can further narrow down, etc. Okay. I already give examples. Third point, or fourth point be covered. Okay, you can narrow down by focusing on certain things: firms, industry, product, service sizes, system, technology, regions, countries, blah blah. Okay. Also, you can use advanced search function in ProQuest 5000 on Science Direct databases, SU library. Okay, or Google. I mentioned before. Um, Last thing I want to highlight again why, and we ask you to look for information from different sources, a variety of references, because a single reference very often cannot provide all the required information. Okay, as example, for example, even though you focusing on, for example, um, and let's say and how Google. Let's just say you focus on something like Woolworths, or Coles. How Woolworths Coles use ISIT for innovation, right? You try and look it down. But after you look around, you found, no one particular or not too many particular article papers really focus on Woolworths innovation. But I still want to get more information on Woolworths innovation using Woolworths uses practices of using ISIT for innovation. What do? You try to look at the different sources, okay, of information. You may find one or two points in different article about Woolworths practice of using ISIT for innovation. In one article, one point, some other article, another point, or some article enhance, support some point in other article you are not so sure. Okay, so that's why I say even though and we ask you to look at certain you ask to certain cases or certain references, but very often one single references or paper or even book or case cannot provide you all references you need. I said may not, but actually in my view, in reality, you never can got all the information from one single references. Okay, that's my personal view. Um, okay, now I'm going to answer all the questions in the chat box first, okay, before I ask you if you have any other questions. Let's have a look. Okay. First question. Can I use articles found in Google which is not found in library? The answer is yes. Just make sure you cite properly. Okay, second question. Can we use readings as part of a reference or needed another term? Um, well, in theory, not. But in practice, probably you can use one or two, but not too many. Okay, that's probably I would say. Otherwise, we do not call it a research report. So I would say you can use, but not too many. You know, that's probably my position on this one. Uh, yeah, maybe one or two. I mean, look, I mean, that my position you can use, but not too many, because otherwise we lose the meaning of us to do your own research. Okay, that's my answer for your second question. Third question, what do you mean by cases? Okay, cases also means examples, companies. Okay, and means unless I mean, my apologies. So cases means four companies. It's cases. Okay, that means four companies examples from four companies. That's called cases. My apology. You know, I may think the words are same, may not be same. Okay, basically, the four companies examples of using ISIT for innovation. Okay, last question. Can we use company official website or other non-academic website as reference? Yes, and but again, we strongly ask you to look the information in the databases. Okay, because company official website or non-active website reference may not be as as um, as good as some scholarly papers in the databases for a someone purpose. Okay, because why? A someone is a individual research report. If you use all the information from official website, non-academic website, you still can use, but that probably should not be part of your term references we look at. Okay, I mean, you know, I mean, still count one or two, but in my personal view, that's not the purpose. Okay, the purpose is we want to read some, you know, journal papers, books, or some, you know, and you know, other sources, your own experience. Okay, otherwise, I mean, the easiest place to get information on the internet probably Wikipedia, right? You probably can find a lot of very broad, brief information in Wikipedia, but that's not called research. Okay, research basically means you need to seriously do research from the two databases we recommend, from Google Scholar. Of course, some other information you can use, but that's information, as I said, may not be 100% reliable. Okay, may not be relevant. For example, I mean, something you can use. For example, if you are um, get a case or company example from you know the database or Google Scholar, but the case itself or the paper itself doesn't have sufficient information on company information, then on certain things you're looking for, such as process, purpose, process, journey, outcome, then you may use information on the company website or other non-academic purpose to supplement, to complement information you get from databases and you know and the Google Scholar, such as. Okay. So next question: Is 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 it possible that we could bring all draft to class to check we're on right track? Well, yes, you can do that, but I have to say that's not really fair to our students. But I'm happy to do so, but not really fair, to be honest. I will help as much as we can. Okay. Next question. Can provide the recording as PPT slides? Yes, will be available tomorrow. Okay, next question. Last week, I remember you told us you have already given us some articles. No, I didn't say that. I said I provide some readings, okay, for you to read. Yes, the article I'm talking about is a topic 2 readings, which will be relevant for your preparation as someone in terms key concepts, key models, key terminologies. Okay, that's my point. Also, yes, some references you can use. For example, in my topic two, um, in my topic two slides, I remember I didn't have time yesterday to go to the slides. I remember I gave a few slides on the factors influencing innovation in the company, such as leadership, culture, right? Well, of course, you can use this kind of things. Also, one, rel- one relevant information is I actually provide references for all the papers readings I use in my slides in my MCU. If you go to additional resources, for example, if you want to use certain PPT slides information, you want to cite information, you should be able to find the full reference for that PPT slides and information from the full reference list I provided in the additional resources. Okay, I'm 100% sure I uploaded and the full reference list for all my reference I use in the study material into additional resources. Thank you, Siva. Siva, just a comment, right? My reading articles are relevant to some way. Yeah, that's true. It's just true. Okay, I have answered all the questions in the chat box, chat area. And any other questions, please just click on your mic, ask me, okay?
Hello,
Yeah,
where can I find these? Where can I expect these PPT tomorrow?
yeah, tomorrow. Look, why I cannot see tonight because I need to make sure after these sessions I have to wait for some time before I can download the recording, then upload to my MCU, okay?
Okay.
So I would say tomorrow, definitely tomorrow, but I'm not sure when because this first time I'm using, normally I have to wait for a certain period of time before I can get downloading from the site, then I can upload into my MCU, okay?
Yeah. Can I include general definitions in assignment?
Yeah. If it's relevant to your discussion, that's my answer.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, look, today's session is not the only session, only place you can ask me questions. So after today's session, you still can ask me any question, write to me, or ask me during the class, after class. Okay. Today's session is for benefit of everyone, including you, including who cannot attend on-campus class, or anyone who are in different locations. Okay. That's purpose for today's sessions. Any other questions? Okay, I see one more question in the chat box saying, our papers must be, peer-reviewed journals. I mean, I don't think the answer yes, but I would say, look, in reality, you will definitely use certain peer-reviewed journal articles. I can guarantee you that. Okay, how many? I don't know. I'm out of 10. I don't know. Okay, how many peer-reviewed journals do we need? I can answer questions. And I said, you may use some journal papers, you may use some information, certain books, okay, and also even some certain magazines, okay, like Harvard Business Review, whatever, okay. So I would say out of 10, I definitely see a good number for peer-reviewed journal articles. Normally, that's the case, okay. I cannot see how many because that's a case-by-case situation. Any other questions? You can either speak to me in about 2 minutes to us via microphone, or you type in the chat box. Okay, look, as I said, today's session is probably the starting point of our discussion of preparing assignment one. Okay, and I suggest you probably you're not really clear what we have discussed tonight here. You listen to recorded sessions again. Okay, go to the PowerPoint slides we use today, and again, then still have a question, please get in touch with me. Okay, you can come to see me, make an appointment, go to the in detail, or you can write to me. Okay, any other questions?
I have one last question.
Yeah.
When I type to find Google information about Apple
Mhm.
innovation systems, they give
Mhm.
like different information from different websites. Can I
Mhm.
use that one information and connect to the references in the library?
Yeah, you can, but the tricky point is you only cite the paper you have read yourself. You got my point?
Yeah, I can connect to the paper which I read and I can
Yeah,
collect
yeah. Then
information from the Google.
you use that paper in your report, start your report, then provide that paper the full information at the end of reference list. Okay?
Yeah, and I can collect the data from the Google from
Yeah, yeah,
different
sure,
places.
sure, sure. Yeah, you can. It's as long as relevant, help you in your discussion. Okay? Also,
Yeah,
make sure you read the
yeah,
paper yourself. Okay?
yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions? Any other questions? One more time. Any other questions? If no, okay, someone tapping. Okay, if no, I want to say thank you very much, everyone. Had a good night. Okay, bye bye.